G'day viewers, you find me this morning out on the new Triumph 1200 Explorer. I got to ride this bike on the release date and actually rode this machine I'm sat on now. Can't remember what it was. It was a good while ago, but I couldn't get out on it for more than 10 minutes because it was on a bank holiday, but they had an open day and there was hundreds of people there all wanting to get on it, so I couldn't give it the full benefit. So now I've got it for an hour, and I promise you guys that I would give my 5 pence worth on this bike. So here we are. So what is she now packing over the previous model? She's now got, depending on what model you get, this bike now comes in 6 different variants. You've got the XC variant, which is obviously the off-road orientated machine, with 3 different sort of standards, or not standards, 3 different sort of options on what kit you have on it basically. And you've got the XR, which is the road orientated model. Again, 3 different models, if I've explained that right. So you've got the road model, and you've got 3 different types of them, and you've got the cross country, the XC, another 3 different types, so 6 in all together. Different models with different seat heights, different options with regards to crash protection and all the extras, you know, heated grips, active suspension. You only get the active suspension on the higher spec models, which gives you all the normal gubbins. Like every new bike that's coming out now, they're all into this active suspension. So this has the riding modes: rain road, sport, and I think it has an off-road mode. We've got heated grips on board, cruise control. We've got heated seat, front and rear. This is the XCA, which is the highest spec you can get. So this is fully loaded. We've got a electronic adjustable screen, which I'll show you guys in a bit once we've stopped. Other than that, it's sort of fairly similar. Looks wise, hasn't changed much at all. They've changed the size of the tyres, front and rear. They're much wider tyres and a bit more. I didn't look what tyres are on, but I think they're more sort of more road oriented, but they're much wider tyres, so you can, oh, I've got my main beam on, so you can have a bit more fun on the open road. Yeah, so they tried to sort of rival it with the GS, but it kind of compromised, I think, on the road presence with the novelty tyres that came on it as standard. So now they've gone for a set of road tyres. I think they're Metzelers, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but everything else has pretty much stayed the same. You get obviously the fog lights on certain specs, depends what model you go for. Obviously, if you go for regardless of it's the XR or the XC, the lower standard model, then you don't get any of the good business. No electric screen, no active suspension, no fog lights, no crash protection. So it's it's pretty limited. But this is well the same on the Sport. They've got these little winglets, I don't know if you can see that at the front, that kind of deflects the wind up over the tank a bit more, although the tank is lovely and wide and your legs are completely protected from the wind. And the screen is enormous. It's not really my cup of tea, but you know, it's an adventure bike, you know, that's okay. And I think that's his lowest point. Once we've stopped and checked her out, and we'll mess about with the screen adjustments. There we go. So we've selected the screen at the top, and then we just push up and down on the information button. So there we are, fully up. So that's fairly large. That's going straight up over your noggin. So it was at its lowest setting when I had it down. But that's kind of cool. But again, that only comes on the top spec bikes. On the lower spec, you've just got a manual. With regards to the to the dash. In the middle you've got your normal rev counter with your warning lights, fuel light, main beam, neutral light, etc. The left screen is got for changing all your settings. It's always suspension settings, preload and rebound settings you can change all on the fly, or you can just obviously select a riding mode, rain road, sport, whatever, off-road, whatever you want to go for. And on this side obviously you control all your other niceties like your heated grips. So if I press the heated grips on, it comes up here. You got 2 or 3 different settings: high, medium and low, or off. So we'll leave those off. And the same with the heated seat, which you've got a button somewhere down at the bottom. That all controls on the left hand screen. And your right hand screen is obviously, you've got your fuel gauge, your speedo, oil temperature, time, outside temperature, etc. So I kind of like that setup. That's how you've done it. So you've got your controls on the left lever for the left screen. Kind of makes sense. Yeah, okay, the right hand screen you don't need to do anything for, and on the right hand lever you've got your warning, flashing 3 ways, and your cruise control. Easy to flick the full beam on this thing. Seat's very comfortable and it's fully adjustable. I think it's got 3 settings on this seat, where you can have it low, medium or high. But even at the low point, if the bike is still too high for you, you can order the bike with a lower. I don't know if the suspension has been lowered on some models. It may have, and you can get a lower seat for it. You know, I'm 6'2". It is a tall bike and it is a heavy bike. I think this is knocking around 258 kilos dry, I think I read somewhere, which is fairly heavy, you know. And you do notice that from humping it around the car park. You do notice she's a big bitch. But when you're riding it, you know, you forget about all that. It's well balanced, you know. It doesn't feel heavy. You can still throw this about, no problems whatsoever. But you do have to be, you know, on the taller side. So if you are a short arse, you're definitely going to have to look into getting a model with a lower seat or maybe lowered suspension. I think brake horsepower and torque wise, she's only got, I think, 3 more brake horsepower than the previous model. I think she's up to 137, but a lot more torque, and she does pull. She is quick, and you know, she is great in the bends. You know, just because she's a big adventure bike doesn't mean you can't have fun with it on the road in a set of bends. And with the wider tyres on her, she's much more nimble. She's got a sportier ride to her than the older model, so you can really give it some beans. Great brakes. Woohoo! Bit of squirming going on there. Nearly missed me spot. I'll just go through this quickly while we're here. So obviously we've got rain mode, road, sport, off-road, rider, and that's where you can obviously go into this menu and change your suspension settings. Bit of art, you can see some lotion. So if you've got a pillion on the back, or if you've got luggage on, you could add that onto there. Not so nice in red, I don't think. I prefer it in the matte green. Is fairly nice. Some smoke in there. We're on fire. Exhaust is fairly meaty on it. Comes with obviously a centre stand. Again, depends on what spec you go for, whether that comes with it. You know, this is the no, in fact this isn't the XE, this is the XR. So the XE has the spoke wheels and the XR has these road wheels. Comes with some crash protection, depending on what spec you go for. Same handguards as before. Mirrors, I think they've changed the mirrors, these are new. and again fine, no need for an extension bar on the mirrors. Comes with the luggage as well, or not the luggage, comes prepared for the luggage, so you get the scaffolding for that, and you get the hard boxes on this, the aluminium cases, which is really nice. Again, we got heated seat for passenger, heated seat for rider. Clutch is really smooth. I think it's a hydraulic clutch. Yeah, hydraulic, and a fly-by-wire throttle. So this is really smooth. It's really comfortable. You know, you can ride this thing all day. There you've got your active suspension with the cabling to it for electronic. Screen I've already covered. Here are these winglets that I talked about before, that it sort of deflects it that much more. It doesn't go over the tank, it deflects it then up. A couple of winglets here. LED indicators. And there she is in all her glory. But I don't like it so much in red, but she's definitely a beautiful bike. Packing the Brembos, which I just tested out there on the way into the car park. Very powerful. But otherwise, looks wise, she's pretty much similar to the older model. But again, you know, this is just an interest video. It's by no means a full review. You know, I've never owned one, so I don't know that much about them. But just as an interest insight video. It's got a lovely exhaust tone to it. Lovely deep exhaust tone. Very grippy foot pegs as well. Here on the right side as well, you got your gear indicator, which is a good feature to have. But they all have them on these, obviously. Got a USB and micro or mini cigarette socket for your power your tank bag, as standard. Horn. But she is quick. Very quick. And handles is so well balanced, beautiful in the bends, very confidence inspiring. Let's give her as well another, see how the fueling is. We'll drop down into 50 in 6th gear. On the throttle, full gas. Butter smooth. Yeah, they've done a great job with this. Yeah, so hopefully that was some benefit to some of you guys, just as an insight into the bike. I have got another video of a walk round of the bike I did at the Dortmund bike show, so click here if you want to watch that, and that obviously takes you a bit more around the bike and shows you parts of it if you want a bit more of an insight into it. But that was just literally a quick heads up of what I think of it and what the bike's got. As I said, you know, it's a bit, you'd have to look up yourself what bikes, what of the 6 bikes, what specs they have. I don't know that obviously off the top of my head, but yeah, so that's it on this bike. I'm going to take it back to the dealership now, and be sure to subscribe down here and hit the like button, and I'll catch you next time.